having that position of authority, it comes with great responsibility. There's a lot of people who your decisions affect, and so I'm just going to pray for you guys tonight that God would just grant you wisdom and favor as you guys make decisions on behalf of the city. So would you guys pray with me? Dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you that we can come before you, Lord, and we just want to acknowledge your authority in this world. And God, I just thank you that you work through people. And tonight, there are men and women here that you have called and equipped. And I just pray that you would be with them tonight, Lord, that you would help them to have peace with one another, and that if there's disagreements, that they could work through those things and find the best solution for our city, Lord. I just pray that you'd give them wisdom as they make their decisions, and would you just be glorified. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, it is 7:01. I will call to order our Tuesday, March 18th Common Council meeting. Megan, would you please take the roll?
Davis. Lampy. Board. Bartz.
Here.
Blanky. Smith.
Here.
Schmid.
Here.
Wetzel.
Here.
Moldenhauer.
Very good. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, the first item on our agenda is the minutes of the council meeting for March 4th. Comments or questions from anyone on those minutes? All right, then let's move to comments and suggestions from citizens present. Megan, do you have anybody? Okay, anyone remote that would like to comment? All right, we do have another opportunity at the end of our meeting as well. We have a public hearing this evening. This is a public hearing for 1220 Wilbur Street and 1220 West Main Street. This is for a comprehensive plan amendment. I will open that public hearing. If anyone would like to comment, please come to the microphone by Alderperson Davis. Or if anyone remote would like to comment during the public hearing, please say so. All right, I will close that public hearing. Let's move to reports then. You all have the Housing Authority minutes from January 16th, Finance from February 10th, Licensing Board from February 12th, Tourism from February 13th, Finance from February 17th, Park Rec and Forestry from February 17th, the Senior Center Advisory Board from February 18th, Site Plan Review from February 24th, Plan Commission from February 24th, and Public Safety and Welfare from March 5th. Comments or questions on any of those minutes? Alrighty. Let's move to communications and recommendations. We do have employee recognitions this evening. This evening we are honoring 10 years for Brandon Wojnowski. I literally only call him Wojo, so that doesn't happen very often for me. Wojo's been with the fire department for 10 years and recently promoted to lieutenant. And then we're also recognizing 5 years for Lucas Sager at our street division. So very grateful to both of those gentlemen for their service to our city. Also in your packets this evening is the Watertown Fire Department's monthly report. Does anyone have any comments or questions for the chief? Mr. Board.
Chief, I'm on page 32 of our documents. The total year-to-date incidents. 2023 was 225, 2024 was 274, and you've listed 285.
Yes,
What happened?
we've been busy. January and February have been particularly busy for our department. So nothing in particular other than more calls, and we've had more multiple calls for service at the same time as well that month.
You're saying in 2 months you've had more calls than all of 2024.
Let me look at it. Then maybe that's a typo on
Hello?
our error.
Did I miss it?
Melissa. Oh, sorry, Melissa. We've moved past the public hearing. I don't know if otherwise I'm just going to mute you.
Hold on, let me pull it up. It might be a typo on our end.
There were 79 calls in January of 25.
Okay.
I just want you to know I do read it.
I know.
Can you point, Mr. Ward, I was facilitating here. Can you point me to, I know you're on page 32, but then which, am I looking at the chart or the graph?
I'm looking at operational statistics, monthly incidents, and then below that is total year-to-date incidents. And
Oh,
the-
sure, that's not correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
obviously incorrect.
Yep, thank you.
Yep, that is an error, and so, we're still working through some of our new software
I
and
was
the
gonna say,
reporting
darn it,
starts.
this was the first
I
one
know,
with
I
the
was
new.
so excited.
This is the first month with that new data system, so
And I'm
keep,
thrilled to death.
yeah,
It's-
keep
it's
helping us
great
out with
stuff.
those, though. As
Yep.
you all see those, please do point those out. So Chief,
Thank you. Yep.
Chief, would you just make a note to just follow up with the group on what that number should be?
Yep,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Could it be
I know.
a comparative year-to-date number?
I'll have to ask.
Same time period last year?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll have
yeah,
to
like
look
a
at the data
rolling.
going into that particular chart. We had sent numerous charts over to her, so we just have to make sure it was
If
right.
anything else, just a footnote maybe to explain it for the public.
Indicating travel time is 5:19?
At this time, it was, yes.
Okay, that's excellent.
Mhm.
Any other questions or comments on this one for the chief? All right, very good. Thanks, Chief. Just a reminder for you all that the April 1st Common Council meeting is moved to March 31st because of that spring election. So please make note of that. And then we have a bridge update this evening.
All right, so we got some good news. The replacement arches and spandrels have been successfully installed and fit appropriately per the project construction plans. Deck rebar layout is currently being finalized, and plastic sheeting has been installed in preparation for the curing process. So weather permitting, the deck pour is scheduled for this Friday. There's a pre-pour meeting tomorrow with WisDOT and the contractor to make sure everything is lining up and coordination is appropriate. And then the curing process will follow and take about a week. Following the deck pour, the bridge sidewalk is scheduled to be poured the week of March 31st, with the remainder of the sidewalk to follow in early April. Roadway preparation and pavement installation will take place after that, and there's no change to the planned opening date, which remains on track for April. So if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer as best as I can.
Any questions for Mr. Byer? Yes,
April.
end of April.
Okay, yeah.
They haven't given us,
A date, just a broad range.
yeah, mid to end of April.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, yeah. That's what we've been told, right?
Right.
The reason it's that range, in full disclosure, I think is they have either 11 or 13 weather days built in to that schedule. So that's why that range exists. Anybody else on questions for Mr. Byer? Thanks, Andrew. All right, let's move to new business. There's one committee appointment there for your consideration.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Board, second by Mr. Bartz. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, let's move on to miscellaneous business. There's the payroll summary from February 19th to March 4th. Any questions on that? We also have the paid invoices and the cash and investment summary ending February 28th. Either of those items, comments or questions? All right, very good. Let's move to licenses then. You have a memo in your packet from the clerk, and that alludes to our license for consideration this evening. This is to review and take action on an application for a temporary Class B wine and temporary Class B license for Watertown Riverfest. This is for Thursday, August 7th through Sunday, August 10th. Mr. Blanky.
I'll make a motion to approve the license for the Riverfest celebration.
Motion by Mr. Blanky, second by Mr. Bartz. Comments and questions on the license? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, let's move to ordinances. The first is ordinance 25-05. This is an ordinance to amend section 410-39 in our city code. This is here from me and Public Safety and Welfare on the first reading. Ms. Davis.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 25-05.
Thank you, ma'am. Motion by Ms.
Board.
Davis, second by Mr. Board. Comments, questions? Megan.
Davis.
Aye.
Board. Bartz. Blanky.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Schmid.
No.
Wetzel. Moldenhauer.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-1.
Thank you, ma'am. Next is ordinance 25-06. This is to amend chapter 500-6, Paren 2, Vehicles and Traffic. This is here from Ms. Davis and Public Safety and Welfare on the first reading. Ms. Davis?
Motion to approve ordinance 25-06.
Thank you, ma'am. Motion by Davis, seconded by
Second.
Mr. Blanky. Any questions or comments from anyone? Megan?
Davis.
Aye.
Ward. Bartz.
Aye.
Blinky.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Schmid.
Aye.
Wetzel. Moldenhauer.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
Very good. Let's go to resolutions. The first is Exhibit 9721. This is a resolution to authorize an agreement with Vanderwall and Associates for the zoning code rewrite. This is here from me and the Finance Committee. Motion by Mr. Wetzel, seconded by
Second.
Mr. Blanky. Comments or questions from anyone? Megan?
Wetzel. Moldenhauer.
Aye.
Davis. Ward. Bartz. Blinky.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Schmid. Motion passed 8-0.
Very good. Next is Exhibit 9722. This is an initial resolution to discontinue a portion of the public way at Cole Street. This is here from me and the Plan Commission.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Bartz,
Second.
second by Mr. Blanky. Comments, questions? Megan?
Bartz.
Aye.
Blinky.
Aye.
Smith. Schmid. Wetzel. Moldenhauer. Davis. Ward. Motion passed 8-0.
Thank you. Next is Exhibit 9723. This is a resolution to award the 2025 Western Avenue Water Main Relay to Forest Landscape and Construction for $187,580. This is here for Mr. Board and Public Works.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Board, seconded by Ms. Davis. Any discussion on this one? Megan?
Ward. Bartz. Blinky.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Schmid. Wetzel. Moldenhauer. Davis.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
Thank you. Next is Exhibit 9724. This is a resolution to authorize the submittal of the 2024 Annual Stormwater Report. This is again from Mr. Board and Public Works. Motion by Mr. Board, second by Mr. Wetzel. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, very good. Next is Exhibit 9725. This is a resolution to approve ordering a replacement ladder truck. This is here from me and the Finance Committee. Motion by Mr. Moldenhauer, seconded by Mr. Bartz. Mr. Stevens, do you have anything? Okay.
Yes, the resolution that you have in front of you highlights the not to arrive before 2027. Just giving a chance to talk through the logistics of the timeline of when we borrow money. But cut to the chase, my suggestion is that that actually says 2028. Our typical year of borrowing, the money, the proceeds arrive on March 1st. This year in 25 is different because of the fire station refunding, but on a typical year, we'll see the money on March 1st. If a truck were to arrive anytime from March 1st, 2027 through about August of 28, we'd be fine, no problem. But I have constraints upon us on our borrowing of money for items, not infrastructure. Items have an 18-month required spend, or the money has to go back to the bond issuer. So my concern is a timing issue because we're talking about something that has a potential of a delay. I would rather see a don't show up before January 1 of 28. We can borrow the money in 28, and then if there is any delay in that fire truck's arrival, we have a full 18 months effectively from March 1 on. I have talked with bond counsel. There's no problem if the truck were to arrive on January 1 of 28 and we haven't borrowed the money until March. That's fine and acceptable. We can do an interfund borrowing. At that point in time, it would require a resolution of you all to borrow that money internally, but it is something that is common on the timing of things. And also, I'm just suggesting, I think the resolution talks about the year 27 twice, and I'm recommending that that is altered to 28.
And I'm seeing Chief Rainen say that that makes good sense to her. So I think before we would take discussion on the larger topic, I would look, it sounds like for a motion to amend the resolution to say where it says 2027 to replace with 2028. Yes.
How much?
All right. Motion by Mr. Schmidt. Is there a second to that amendment? Seconded by Ms. Davis. Does anyone have questions? Yes, what do you do? Yeah, I'm sorry. What questions do you have for us?
I just would like to point out that the current contract does provide that the delivery can be December 27 or early 28. So this may require that we modify that contract a little.
I think that's fine.
And I just want to.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, though. Thank you. I don't always think you'll bring the doom and gloom. But. Okay. All right, so we have a motion on the table to amend the, the resolution is sufficient to be amended, Stephen, though, for that? Okay. For changing the 27s to 28s. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, so now we're at an amended version. Any just general, yes, sir.
So I did have a discussion offline with one of the finance committee members to kind of flesh this out a little bit. The first question I have is, this is simply placing an order. Are we under any obligation, or can we cancel? Basically, at what point does the city's financial obligation take place? At what point is our drop dead for canceling, should we decide not to order this piece of equipment?
I think it's written in the contract specifically, but it's up until the day or week before taking ownership of it. We've worked with this company, and they are such a large dealer that because of the high demand for ladder trucks right now, they added that they would be happy to sell it if we choose not to buy it, which would be.
Stephen, do you want to add anything to that? I'm seeing the terms of payment, saying that it's due in full at the time of the apparatus completion and inspection, and that no upfront or down payments or progress payments are required.
There is a cancellation policy on the contract that does list a few things that the city could be charged for if we were to cancel prior to acceptance.
Yep.
Item 9.
So that's including like their trip down there to do an inspection and to say, yes, this ladder truck is good to go. So actual costs incurred, which would be the travel to go down to the company to test it and look at it. Otherwise, the ladder truck itself, the cost of that, I have an email from the president of the company saying they'd be happy to sell it.
Okay.
I just want to make sure. Do you want anything else on that question?
The items are the factory visits, if completed, equipment specific to the order, and any costs that they cannot recoup in the sale of the truck upon the cancellation. So presumably, they would be able to sell the truck to somebody else if we had a highly specific, specialized order that they can't convert to another vehicle or sell with the truck. The city could still be charged for that amount, but generally speaking, I would agree with the fire chief that almost all the costs would be recouped up to the time of just before delivery.
Before you hop to your next question, is that, if I may, did you have something on this question?
Yes.
Is that, let's go there then. Let's stay with this question.
So in the first line of item 9, cancellation, it says, in the event this agreement is canceled or terminated by the buyer before completion, there will be a cancellation fee charged to the buyer. Then it goes on to say the following costs incurred will be the buyer's responsibility. Are those two separate items, a fee and costs incurred?
They did initially have percentages of how much would be charged if we canceled, and that has been removed, so that might have been missed. I can have that line adjusted if needed as well.
I think that makes sense. Yep.
They completed it and fixed it within a minute for us.
Right. I think that makes sense to have that removed. Okay. Back to you, sir.
So the other thing is I did go through the finance packet and the minutes. What I was looking for were some numbers, essentially. I'm not saying that we don't need this piece of equipment. Obviously, the ladder truck is somehow already 20 years old. It seems like we got it a few years ago, but this is a $2.6 million apparatus. This is a huge, amount of money. And I guess I'd like to see what the life cycle of a ladder truck generally is. What are our annual maintenance costs, how they've gone up, some of the costs associated with replacement parts, basically all the things that we're saying, these are the reasons we need it. I'd like to have some numbers to go along with those. Because
We can definitely provide that. So Chief, I think you know the answer offhand, the life cycle.
FPA's recommendation is longer than 20 years, unless you can recertify it and do all the things. And what we're finding is in the last couple of years, it's had more increased cost of maintaining it. Parts are getting hard to come by. There was larger bills the last couple of years, and then it failed its 5-year test this year, so we had to pay a lot of money to just keep it rolling.
And I think
can get
we
those
can,
hard numbers in an email for you.
we can definitely,
do have 'em.
we can definitely share that with the whole group, the maintenance cost. One is popping in my head, and I think, Mark, was it 60 grand for one repair?
Not for this truck.
Oh,
That
different
was for the
truck.
engine.
That
Great.
was for the engine.
Thank you. Okay, never mind. But we can provide the maintenance records.
And then my last question is, I know we're not dealing with a Ford Escort here, and you can't just trade this in, but is there any trade-in value on a piece of equipment like this? In the past, I know what I've seen is generally municipalities sell their equipment. There's various ways to do that, and townships have a tendency to buy used engines and things like that because they're still useful life, and they don't generally buy new. But with something like this ladder truck, I don't really see there being a secondary market for, because anyone who needs a piece of equipment of this size is probably going to be buying it new. They're not going to be buying it on the used market. So is there any value for this piece of equipment either as a trade-in or as a sale on a secondary market?
There is the surplus where it would go to be sold, and I'm not sure on how much a ladder truck is bringing in these days for resale, but there is still a market for that to be done. A lot of the smaller townships, if they can't afford to buy a new one like we're trying to, they'll go with an improvement of their 20-year-old truck and what they can, or they'll refurbish one. So Ms. Davis did have the packet that explained the maintenance costs. So in 2024, it was $47,000 that was spent on it. 2023 and 22 and 21 was about $6,000 to $7,000, and then in 2019 and 2020 was $25,000 and $17,000.
Could I get a copy of that, please?
Absolutely.
Mr. Schmidt?
Just a question, and I don't expect you to have an answer for this, and you can ask your the vendor. You mentioned that parts are getting harder to come by. My question is, can you ask them about if they're incorporating planned obsolescence in their equipment, or are they actually tending to keep this stuff around for decades? Because that's a big hot button issue with new manufacturing of all vehicles across the spectrum, not just specific ones like this.
Repeat the question one more time.
Yeah.
Planned obsolescence.
Okay. Oh, and they're planning how soon it's going to go obsolete, like with the Motorola radios?
Right. like other manufacturers are trying to do across the board in other arenas. So,
I
because you mentioned
can
parts
ask.
being hard to come by, so that would be where that would bring up that question for me.
I can ask that.
Excuse me, other questions or comments? All right. Okay, so we have an amended version before us, and we'll vote on that full amended version. Megan?
Moldenhauer. Davis. Ford.
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Blanky.
Aye.
Smith. Schmid.
Aye.
Wetzel. Motion passed 8-0.
Very good, thank you. Next is Exhibit 9726. This is a resolution to approve the development agreement with the City of Watertown and Lumen Terrace. This is here from me and the Finance Committee. Ms. Davis? Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Board. This is primarily housekeeping. Mason, I'm coming to you. Housekeeping on Lumen Terrace? You don't have to present, I'm just asking. They're going to look at me in 2 seconds. I'm just going to say, this is mainly housekeeping. It's a name change, similar to the last amended one for this same area, right? Yes. Very good. I appreciate that you care so much about the ladder truck. Any other questions or comments? So name change primarily. All right. Megan?
Davis. Ward.
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Blanky.
Aye.
Smith. Schmid. Wetzel. Moldenhauer. Motion passed 8-0.
Mayor, can I interrupt? Point of order. Did we vote on the amendment?
We did.
Did we vote on the original motion then?
We did.
Okay. Sorry.
Thank you. No, I'm always open to that. I sometimes don't, but I did, right? I remember taking a voice vote. Okay, very good. All right. Okay, next is Exhibit 9727. This is a resolution to approve the amendment to the collective bargaining agreement between the city and the Labor Association of Wisconsin. This is our police officer union. This is here from me and the Finance Committee. Mr. Board?
I'll move.
Thank you. Second by Ms. Davis. This one is also primarily housekeeping. The entity that was previously representing the police union went out of business, and so this is just taking on, replacing Labor Association of Wisconsin with the Wisconsin Professional Police Association. Correct, Stephen? Nothing else different here?
Correct.
Any questions or comments from anyone? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, very good. Our last resolution is Exhibit 9728. This is a resolution to extend technical services agreement with Strand. This is here for Mr. Board and Public Works. Motion by Mr. Board.
Second.
Second by Mr. Blanky. Any comments or questions? Megan?
Ward.
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Blanky.
Aye.
Smith. Schmid. Wetzel. Moldenhauer. Davis.
Aye.
Motion passed 8-0.
Very good. We are at the point for another opportunity for comments from citizens present. Anyone remote that would like to comment? All right, seeing none, I would ask for a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Schmid, second by Mr. Moldenhauer. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.